Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Hello, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm in my studio. Can you see my bowls? The ones that survived. I still have not heard back from KLM, the airline, from hell. Yeah, they broke many of my sound bowls and part of my I want to say like my soul, but they didn't actually break my soul. That was just an intense experience. So I have never recorded in here. I just finished recording my New Year's Eve ceremony. I know I left it kind of to the last minute, but this was just the perfect time. So I really like this room. There's a skylight up here. I haven't opened it just because I wanted the audio to be good for the New Year's Eve ceremony. If you want to join, all the material goes live tomorrow. I'm like buzzing right now because that energy clearing was just freaking wild. Like it was beautiful, really. And I'm so excited to do the ceremony myself because I haven't made my vision board or done any of the journal exercises yet. So go ahead and join if you would like to join. It is linked in the description, maybe a comment if my mind remembers to do so. So I hope you guys are having a Merry Christmas. If you're watching this on Christmas and you're here with me right now, I love you. And if you're alone for Christmas, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And so I am technically alone for Christmas as well. I have my animal family and I'm so grateful for them. I remember a few years ago when I was doing Christmas in California, I had a vision of this. And I knew that it was for my highest good to be in a foreign land for the next few Christmases. And I told myself at that time that I was going to be somewhere in another country for the next Christmas. And then I was in Switzerland. That was 3 Christmases ago, which is crazy. So I first started this channel. No, it was 2 years ago, but this would be the 3rd. I don't know. The math is like beyond me. So anyway, 3 Christmases, 2 years ago. I don't know how that works. Yeah, brain power. So anyway, Switzerland, and then I was in Italy on the farm for the last Christmas, and then Portugal today. And because I just arrived here a couple of weeks ago, I don't know many people. I know a few people now. Like I've really started to recognize people. It's like such a sweet little village, and like especially because of the dogs, I'm starting to meet more and more people and see more people more frequently. There was somebody yesterday who I've seen a few times now and we exchanged numbers. The first time we met, she's from California. I think her and I could be good friends. And I made another friend who I told you guys about. He took me to some events and like those were great to see. I'm so grateful I did, but I realized like I really need to be taking it slow for my nervous system because being in isolation for 5 months on the farm in Ireland and then going straight into like even just, you know, being away in the rural part of Italy for a year before that, like going straight into big events was overwhelming. It was stimulating. It was very stimulating. So now what feels good is like being out in public and going to co-working places with my laptop. I just got a backpack that I hate. So I ordered a new backpack that I think I'll like. But that was like a big thing that I had to get in order to do this co-working thing because like walking with a laptop on my shoulder was just too much work because it's kind of a long walk and I bring the dogs because Aslan's not good at being on his own for very long yet. That's why I haven't played the bowls for you guys. As soon as I play those, he starts barking. So we're working on it. It's just a puppy. It's a giant puppy. I posted a YouTube short and reel and TikTok yesterday of my little dance I did with him. It was not like planned. We just did that and I turned the camera on. And so he's so sweet and so fun. They all are. So yeah, I've really been like focusing on small doses of meeting people and being around people. And I'll sit in cafes and I'll walk by the beach and whatnot. What I've also noticed in my experience right now is that there's a few things. And so what's so beautiful about being in a foreign country where you don't know anybody is that I can become anybody that I want, right? And I'm trying to find like the right words for that. So I was thinking about this yesterday on my walk, where it's like I can literally be whoever I want. No one knows who I was. Not that like who I was bad. I love who I was. Like I still am that. But you know, no one has any expectations. There's some book or some, yeah, I don't remember the book, but it talks about like people's expectations of you will shape who you are if you're not conscious of it. And so what's so beautiful about being in a place where nobody knows you is there are no expectations of you. You can literally be whoever you want. And I think that this is just probably very divinely aligned, because as soon as I started doing my dream life sleep hypnosis, which if you want to do it, it's so freaking powerful. It's life-changing, absolutely life-changing. It changed my life, changed the lives of hundreds of people. I'm starting to get video testimonies. Like it's so cool. It's so cool, really. It's just fascinating to see how this is all playing out now. And Nove, my new app, I've been designing that. That's like what I do when I go to the co-working places. So Nove is just blowing my own mind with how powerful it's going to be, and like how much I really am putting into it. Like I just realized the other day of what it really, the potential it really has, and like what companies I want to pitch it to partner with, like other apps and like wearables and whatnot. And I'm like, wow, this is beyond any business or anything that I've ever created or launched. Like it feels like the real deal. I feel like I failed a lot. It's just like part of entrepreneurship. Like I made a lot of businesses, did a lot of different things to learn and grow and fail forward. But this feels like the thing that is really going to like be a part of the rest of my experience on Earth. So anyway, I did dream life sleep hypnosis, and then I arrived here into this foreign land. And so I've been reprogramming my subconscious and becoming like a new version of me. I moved through these two really deep patterns that I didn't know I had, that I had to be small in order to be loved, and that I had to watch other people live my dream life as I pretty much watched in the back seat. Like it was literally me sitting in the back seat, oftentimes what my dreams would reveal of these two subconscious blocks. So they came up when I started listening to my sleep hypnosis. And I have been clearing those. Like there's different layers of clearing it. So I just sent out an email where when I arrived here, that old dream started coming up again of my ex, where I would play small in order to be loved. And it was fascinating. That came up when I didn't listen to the hypnosis and I was thrown into a new environment. So what happens is your subconscious will latch onto what's familiar. And so because I'm in a foreign land, don't know anybody, blah, 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 it was latching onto what's familiar. And what was deep down familiar was still the last remnants of that pattern of playing small to be loved and like, you know, being with my ex. It's not so much about the ex, but it's like more so about the pattern of being with that ex. And he was a narcissist, and so I like really had to be a shell of myself, not like just throwing that word out, like he was actually a narcissist and was like getting help for it. So as soon as I got here, that started coming up. So I had that dream of him, and then I had a dream of my next ex who was like half as narcissistic as him. He just had traits. And I knew in that relationship, like I had healed a lot in order to manifest this type of person, but we still were not quite it. And I still was not my fullest expression with him. So I had a dream with him. And then the next day had a dream of somebody who, and I was listening to the hypnosis now, and like got back into the rhythm of listening to it. The next day I had a dream of this person that I follow online, that I don't think he's like the important part of it, but he is really into fitness, really into personal development, has a lot of successful businesses, like really takes his well-being seriously and how he carries himself, and he has a farm and he has animals, and he's like all the things. And I've never even like looked at his stuff and been like, that's the kind of person I want. I don't know why. Probably because my subconscious was like still looking in the rearview mirror at other people that I would normally look at. But I was like, oh my gosh. When I woke up, I was like, this is the caliber and the tier of a partner that I want. Not necessarily all those traits, but like the that kind of energy of like really doing the work, but just like being that type of person. And so I woke up from that dream of him pursuing me in that dream, and I just realized how much I had healed that pattern and just how new I have been becoming. And so to see that block unravel itself again, because it did so in Ireland, but again in a foreign environment where like nothing's familiar, and the subconscious and the nervous system are going to freak out because they want something familiar, because their jobs are to keep you safe, and that means keeping you in the familiar. So to have that new pattern integrate here, I'm like, holy shit. Yes. And so that means that I'm literally like, I am becoming someone new in this country, and it's part of the path and the plan. I think that I don't know anybody yet, because I had to like really nail that down. And also what I learned is that like when I went to those events and I was meeting a lot of people, like everyone's been so nice. Not a lot of people wanted to like connect like deeper. Like they were very, very, very nice. So like I didn't find many people wanted to like get numbers, and like in California it was very easy to like get a number and go on a walk and become friends. But I oftentimes did that and then found myself going down the path of like creating friendships with people who would mirror parts of myself that I had to heal deeper. And I wasn't so selective, and then those friendships would sometimes come to an end, or I would have to end them and like just move on to, you know, more aligned relationships and connections. And so now I've been reminded that I should move slow through this process of building my inner circle here, and not just like jump at the first person who says hello and gives me their number, obviously, because I want to be very intentional with who I share this energy with, because you do become, I feel, you become a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? That's like a common saying. And it really is so. Like when I would live with people or share walls with people, I would oftentimes adapt their beliefs, their thoughts, their money habits, their money situations. Like, you know, if they were doing really well financially, my finances would do better. If they were not doing well, my finances would not do as well. Like I'm just naturally a sensitive person, and I didn't have boundaries at that time. But it also pointed to the fact that I do become a product oftentimes of my environment and who I spend time with. So we gotta, in this year, spend time with people who expand you. And I think that it's important to note that just because they're a good friend and you care about them, like you consider them a good friend and you care about them, does not necessarily mean that they want to expand you, or that they do expand you, or that they do want you to succeed. I have had some, and I still do have some really special people who I love so dearly, like family, and we've had these conversations, like they had a hard time with me expanding beyond where they could expand, whether it was in health or in like business or in life of travel and like lifestyle. And it's tough sometimes when that's the situation, because you love them and you want to be with them and have them in your life, but at the same time you also want to expand. And so you can have those people in your life, but maybe you don't have them like in that first layer of like your inner circle. Your inner circle is very important for your energy and your expansion and who you're becoming and who you're programming in and why you've gone through everything that you've gone through up until this point. So it's rather rare, I would say, when you come across somebody who truly expands you. And I do have friends like that, not in this country, but that really expand me and really want the best for me and really celebrate my wins with me, and vice versa. And that is a special thing, and you should really hold on to that. And I am so excited for when I find that here, but I'm okay with whenever that happens. I love my little routine of walking my dogs and like seeing people and saying hi and like and whatnot, and doing the things that I love. I've gotten back into reading. I've been reading Sarah J. Maas. I'm trying to get into like a little mixture of learning and personal development, and then also like leisure reading. I think How to Win Friends and Influence People, that's just always been on my list. I think that's going to be the next book that I read. I really want to start some certifications in January. So my Notion has been going well. I told you guys how I started doing a Notion template and using that to organize my life and like stay on top of everything, and that's really been helping. I've been like holding myself to it, and I like it because I've made it so aesthetic and like me, and there's a vision board and there's photos that like motivate me and inspire me. So I enjoy going in there. My subconscious and my nervous system feel safe going in there. And now I'm just making it a habit to log my to-do list, to do it every night. And I just feel like, a lot is happening and a lot is shifting. And also like in regards to dating, this is an interesting one too. I was just talking about this in the New Year's Eve ceremony, but I was talking about quantum manifestation in there and like kind of talking about that process. But I had noticed, I have a really good friend who is an expander who I love, when we were in California together, we were both living there, she started dating somebody who was definitely, hopefully the camera doesn't die, we'll see how long we can stretch this before I have to change it, but she was definitely with somebody, she dated someone for a second who went down this path of like, he got into drugs and like went to jail, and like they just gone on a few dates, and then she became his friend and she was taking care of him and like really trying to probably help him, maybe fix him. And then when she kind of learned that lesson, she put up that boundary, she stopped with that chaos, her husband came in. And so I remember the day that she told me about them talking, and like they had gone to high school and they like barely had kept in touch, and they lived in different states, but they started messaging, and she's like, something feels different here. And then they started dating, they got married, they just announced today that they're having a baby. So special. And so I share that because it's like, when you finally learn the lesson with who you've been dating or who you've been spending time with, and you close that door, the next thing comes right in. And so no attachment to this because the attachment blocks it, but I feel like I just learned that recently, like very recently. And I feel like energetically, I just finally closed that. And especially with this dream happening at the same time as me doing that with someone, I now see clearly of like what it is that I want, the energy that I want. And I like took down my dating apps because I was like, I've known that my person's probably not on there. And I just feel very much in alignment with being on my path, creating. Sorry, my camera died. So I've just been really called to being on my path, focusing on my app, focusing on my energy, stepping into who I am now and who I have become now that I've let go of like so many illusions. And it's such a beautiful time, and I feel like as I really claim that and embrace that and get to make that like my familiar state in my nervous system, my subconscious, then Mr. Dreamy, Mr. Right will just come right in on a white horse. And like I laugh because like I would love if he just was delivered to my front door. And then I saw a video on Instagram, maybe some of you guys have seen it, but it was so cute. This guy also, like this guy and this girl had met each other in college, and I think then he was like saved by Jesus, and like then they kind of like started messaging because I think she's Christian from what I gathered, but they were still like far away from each other. He went to Belgium, like realized that he can't get her off his mind, wrote a letter for her telling her that, and then he decided to go hand deliver it to her door, and so showed up at her door, and she was like, hello. And he gave her the letter confessing his love, and she read it in front of him, and he in the letter asked for her to be his girlfriend. And like even though they like didn't really know each other, it was just a very God-aligned thing. And I was reading the comments and laughing because people were like, so you can have a boyfriend delivered to your house, and you can, like, it does not have to be, and this can go for anything, even if you're in a relationship, like it does not have to be one way. It does not have to be the dating apps. It does not have to be like going to the bars or whatever the belief is of like how you have to find someone or find something. They can literally be delivered to your door when it's meant for you. So focus on the things that are meant for you, that do feel good, that are in alignment with who you are and who you're becoming, and everything else will fall into place and be delivered to your path in divine timing. So those are my Christmas thoughts. I just feel so like buzzy from that ceremony and I'm so grateful to be here and to be in this room. Like, I really am excited to play the bowls for you guys soon, or even just like for myself. I played a couple times and he's getting a little bit better, Aslan, at not barking when I do it, but it takes time. Puppies take time, take patience. Everything takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of surrender. I'm going to go walk into the village now and do some Christmassy things with the boys, my doggies, and I have a dinner tonight. I made a reservation for one. My aunt, who I love, she gifted me like a dinner here in Portugal. She found a restaurant. She's like, I think this looks cute. So I think I'll get dressed, and I'm laughing because like my one predicament here is that I cannot find razors. Like, I don't know if people just don't shave here, but they're not in pharmacies. They're not in the grocery store app. I have to order groceries right now because I still don't have a car or anything yet. So I might wear pants because dress would be a little bit feral. So I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm gonna go to dinner at this nice restaurant. And I don't mind sitting by myself. I actually have a FaceTime with my aunt and my cousins during that time of the reservation, so I will be FaceTiming with them, having a nice oceanfront sunset dinner, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful to be here in this foreign land. Even if it's on my own, this could be the last time that I'm on my own on Christmas. And so if you're alone, you're not really, because we're here together right now. And if you are around loved people, or you did spend Christmas and you're watching this later with loved ones, I think that we have a lot to be grateful for wherever we are in life. And there's a version of you a few years ago, a year ago, who would have been dreaming of being the person that you are now and having the experiences that you have had now. So just a little reminder of how far you've come. So if you want to join the ceremony, it is linked below, or Dream Life Sleep Hypnosis, or any of my other programs. If you want to follow Nove, you can see it on my Instagram. It's linked in my bio. It's called Nove Method, or my Instagram is Araya Amenti, across all platforms. Substack, Patreon, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I love you guys. Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.